YouTube? Tire Metalhead Weatherman here. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So yeah, yesterday was pretty chaotic. It's been a tough week, but we're gonna keep powering on and just get through it all. But yesterday afternoon there was a pretty notable severe weather event that was ongoing. There were even tornado warnings in Fort Worth and Dallas. Even word of reported tornadoes, or at least radar observed. However, when we look at the storm reports, there aren't any documented right now. I think storm surveyors will be coming in to investigate that, but I do think there was probably at least one or two. There were storms that were reported to have history of producing tornadoes, but I don't know. Don't ask me on that one. I don't know exactly what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking sometimes, or not even, or isn't thinking. Not saying that they aren't. All respect to them, honestly. That being said, I've also looked at the wintry side of things, and snow's already wrapped up. It's already pretty much north of the border. This is a very quick hitting, very progressive system. All of this over here that's further towards the north is actually rain, and there's a lot of it, so flooding could be an issue across this region. I'm gonna go ahead and check and see if we even have a anything above a slight risk as far as flooding is concerned. So, from what I've seen here, no slight risk of flooding anywhere across the board, even out west, which is great news. I'm sure that these guys out there in particular would love to have a break, and that looks like we're finally getting a little bit of that. You get a little bit of a reprieve there for you guys over there. But we do still have severe weather, unfortunately, to deal with today. There is a slight risk in effect, although the dynamics are not super impressive for tornadoes. There is a threat of damaging winds. This threat has not really changed much. It's pretty much from the Gulf Coast, stretching from central or south central Louisiana, or the southern coast of Louisiana, all the way towards Tallahassee. Panama City, you're in there too. Dothan, you're in there. Southern Alabama, Mobile, Biloxi, New Orleans. You guys could all see a increased chance of severe weather. Again, main threat is damaging winds. Hail threat is minimal, and then there is a very small pocket over here between Tallahassee and just to the east of Mobile, where we have a marginal risk of a tornado. It's gonna mainly be in the form of a line of storms. So there isn't going to be an extended period where we could be seeing severe weather. Just like with the wintry side of the system, it's more so just going to be a bang bang type of deal. It's going to be in and then it's going to be out and we'll be done. So let's go ahead and take a look at the models then and get an idea of what this is going to look like. So we already have known the setup for a bit now. We've seen the trough, not very impressive. We've been saying that from the get-go. There were two maximums that developed over here, which led to an increased wind and tornado threat. And even then, the wind threat itself yesterday was not that impressive. We only had 17 wind reports. Most of those reports from yesterday were hail, and very large hail at that. There were 17 significant hail reports, and there very well could be more. But anyway, the map we're looking at here, you may think that this dew point, this is a little bit different because in lieu of time, I'm going to have to hurry up with this one. But simply put, this right here is actually what you call the theta E. This looks at the kinetic energy in the atmosphere. So we can basically, it's a combination plot of both temperature and dew point and a couple other variables. Also gives us wind direction at 10 meters above the air. So what we're going to be looking for is the same kind of color code where we're looking for those darker greens and some of those blues. Notice the blue actually stays offshore here. So again, like I said, limited potential. So there's not much of a moist sector here. Some of the strongest strongest value, which is measured in K here, is not really going to be onshore. Those thunderstorms are going to be very impressive offshore. About 330K is what you would look for in regards to severe weather. We do reach that, but just barely. So maybe a slight risk may even be overdone for this. Hopefully that is the case. We would love to see a much quieter Friday for a lot of us, but this is still going to bring a lot of heavy rain and a pretty dreary day regardless. It's going to be warm, though, at the very least. So, that being said, we'll look at that and then we'll take a look at the Cape values, which, based off what I've seen over the last little bit here, not very impressive at all. When we move this forward here, we do seem like we're getting close to a couple spots inland, getting close to that 1,000 joules per kilogram mark. But that's probably about as good as it will get. Highest Cape is in that 2% tornado area, just to the east of Mobile here and on the Florida Panhandle. Get up to above 1,000 joules per kilogram here. But outside of that, we're probably going to be staying around 500 to 700, I would say. Like right around here, yeah, 500, 700. And then we get that sneaky little bit right here towards Mobile, and then eventually we start to lose that Cape as we draw close to the evening, of course, due to daytime heating fading away. As far as the shear values as a whole, we're going to look at the bulk shear. There really isn't a lot to go around. A lot of the wind shear is going to be well too far to the north. There is a point where we get some increased value, but it's going to be well behind the storm system itself. So right here is where I would be a little bit more concerned, but I would say about 30, 40 knots is about as good as it's going to get there if you're looking for severe weather. So that being said, not much to really worry about here. Also, areas further to the north, if you are concerned about severe weather, don't be. Yes, we have some strong winds possible later in the day and into the evening, but the other parameters aren't really coming together to bring a full-on severe threat. Could be a couple of stronger thunderstorms. You're going to get a couple loud booms of thunder, but beyond that, really not too much to be concerned with there. So the last thing I guess we'll look at here is the surface and precip here. Also get a look at the storm modes basically through this today, mainly because the hazard type isn't really tornadic and there's no real look for discrete supercells. I'm not going to look at the composite reflectivity this time. I'm also giving an example of what our winter storm is doing. Like I said, not a whole lot going on there. Moisture kind of outran the cold this time, which is normally what we see over here towards the south. Up north, we're seeing an instance of that. Could see some wraparound on the backside of it. And maybe towards the UP of Michigan, you may see additional snow. But even then, it looks like it's going to be of the light variety. Also, it looks like we do see the lake effect machine starting to wake up again, especially over towards Lake Michigan. That'll be interesting to see how that develops. We'll talk about that in a video later tonight. If all goes well, because sheesh. Jeez, this week's been rough. That being said, here's the severe weather threat. The line of storms, not super impressive. Kind of has that look like it could be a little bit of a squall line there developing. But even so, not the most impressive squall line. I've seen some pretty good looks in the past on the HRRR, and this is not one of those. But that's pretty much the situation we have here. Just checking the time because I'm really going to have to jet after this. But it's the end of the video here. You guys know what to do if you found the video useful, if you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, of course. Share the video, of course, to anyone that may find it useful as well. Also notice that my video viewership has kind of been dropping. I think that might be due to some algorithm issues as well. So that's something I'll be working to solve. But if you haven't got that bell on, definitely do so, because it'll help make sure that you don't miss a video or a post. Well, the way things have been, I've been a little more inconsistent, so I'm not going to be blowing up your phone all the time. But that being said, all comments are always welcome too. But either way, I appreciate you guys being here and bearing with me through this crazy week. We will have a much better week next week for sure. Until then, this has been Tire Metalhead Weatherman. I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a good day. Take care.